Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the VFL show from Lulie Street. I'm Wagner and I am pumped because we're coming to you today after our first win of the season against Footscray on Saturday. Pebs, what an amazing result.
What a fantastic result, Wags. It was astounding to get that win after a great start that we had, and the Bulldogs just kept challenging us throughout the whole day. In that last quarter, they got back at us, they got in front, but our boys were fantastic in just getting back in front and holding on to that lead for the rest of the day.
Yeah, as you said, Pebs, fantastic win by the boys. Do their confidence the world of good, and as we see here, we roll into the highlights. We see it started off fantastically for Big Mason Cox taking a big grab and kicking a big goal. And
what a huge goal that is. You know, the guys only played 3 games of footy, and that contested march to start the game was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely massive for his confidence and for the side. And Faz as well, up and about, kicking two early goals in the first quarter, and the boys ran away and ended up being 6 goals to only 1 behind up in the first quarter. So massive blowout at the start, and I was looking really positive. Second quarter was great again, and but the Bulldogs obviously copped a bit of a bake at quarter time, and they lifted their intensity, and it was a bit of a goal for goal sort of showing in the second quarter, and things evened up, and it was going to be always interesting to see in the second half. Obviously we ended up having a couple of injuries if the boys would be able to hold on.
Yeah, that Jack Hallier smother just typifies the way we went about the game the whole day. Now, our whole game is based around the intensity that we provide, the heat that we provide on the opposition, which is a common theme that we try and provide the whole week.
Yeah, absolutely. Effort and intensity massive, and as we see there, Clinton Young, just a slight little strain to his hamstring, so interesting to see how he pulls up over the next week or two. And also Braden Maynard with concussion, losing him really hurt, but it was an intense finish to the game, and the Bulldogs got in front, but a couple of clutch goals from Kennedy and Abbott to give us back the lead. And the siren went there. As you can see, the boys just absolutely thrilled to get the win by 4 points against the reigning premiers and our first win of the year. And you can see the boys there, just belting out the song there. You can see how up and about they are and how ecstatic they are to get the win, and it's just fantastic to see the AFL guys doing it Friday night, and then also to see the VFL boys back it up and do it Saturday.
Yeah, as you can see the scorecard there, 16-4 to 14-12. Great goal kicking accuracy there by our goals. I wonder who the goal kicking coach is down there. But look, the spread of goal kickers is something really, really good that we've provided our team. We don't rely on the one player to kick our goals, and the player rankings shows Pendlebury on top with Ben Maloney carrying out the 5th spot there.
And Ben Kennedy, 118 points from just 3 quarters of footy, obviously had a massive impact on the game.
He did. He came on at quarter time and provided us with really good grunts from in our forwards and particularly through the midfield as well.
After 2 games on the road, one man that was rapt to be back at Victoria Park was our VFL reporter Sam Gaston. In fact, Sam was so happy, I think he's still there. Sam, what's going on? Are you still reminiscing about Saturday's game?
Thanks, guys. You wouldn't believe it. I just missed the bus again. It's just going around the corner of Lulie Street. I'm stuck at Vic Park again. It's not the worst place to be stuck at, especially after the win we had here on Saturday afternoon. It was a 4-point victory over Footscray, and after the game I caught up with Jonathan Marsh and assistant coach Tarkin Lockyer.
Yeah, so the boys just down here at Vic Park. It's the first home game of the season against Footscray. It was a pretty hard game actually. A lot of sore boys out there, and a couple went down with injuries, but just batted away and got the win, thank God. We've been pretty disappointed with our starts in the last couple of weeks, and I think a couple of things just clicked for us that we've been trying to work on, and we got it done. So that, obviously that works for a good game plan, and that's how we got 6 goals. I started off as a forward when I came to Collingwood, and then I asked the coaches to put me down back just because I like the competitive side of that. So I haven't really looked back from there. So I actually really do think of myself as a natural defender, so I don't think I'll be moving very often.
Yeah, pleasing win, our first one for the year in trying circumstances. So look, for the boys to walk away with the 4 points is good reward for the effort that they put in. I thought they really tried hard today, and it's just great to get the result we want. To be honest, it'd be tough to individualise. I think as a collective group we had some really strong performances. I thought in particular our back 6 were huge today. So all the guys that played in the back line, under a fair bit of duress, we didn't have a great day as far as injuries and rotation goes. For those guys to stand up and prevent the opposition scores, I thought was huge. I was talking to Eddie Maguire at 3/4 time. He said we don't lose at Vic Park. I knew that Footscray were coming pretty hard at us, so I didn't really believe him, but we found a way to win, so it's terrific.
So boys, the popularity of the show continues to grow, and this week got out and about with the crowd again down there at Vic Park, and young Alex is our bloke that we've picked out to give his fan votes this week.
My one vote today goes to DeGoey for being really good around the ball, and his kicking looks like it's improving. My 2 votes go to Ben Kennedy because he's been kicking very precisely today and it's his first game back. My 3rd vote goes to Mason Cox because he's been playing really well in the ruck and is getting a lot of hit outs.
So Mason Cox was very good, and as that Alex mentioned there. But my subway player of the game was Ben Maloney, who had a great game in the midfield, was exceptional. Number 58 there for the guys who don't know, who's on our VFL list. He racked them up throughout the day and showed great composure with the ball in hand and hardness inside that provided some good avenues for our forwards to take his kicks from. So he was very good in that aspect.
He's been good for a couple of weeks now, hasn't he, Pips?
He has. He's a general in that field. In that midfield, he was captain for a couple of weeks when Jack Hallier was absent through injury, but has really stepped up over the past couple of weeks. So there you see it. My subway player of the game: 16 disposals, 9 clearances, and 7 tackles. You know, those 7 tackles are huge in a game of footy.
Well, Collingwood media caught up with the VFL listed player after the game.
We come out really strong. I think in the first quarter we were 6 goals to their 1 point, and then slowly but surely they sort of fought back. It was a real battle. Half time we were pretty in a good position still, and then I think maybe in the last, probably halfway through the last, they got up by nearly a point, and it was just resilience from the boys. It was a really good team effort, and we spoke about it in the rooms before the game about team effort, and I think it really showed today. We come away with the 4 points. Got to be up at work at 6, so working down in Colac replacing power lines, which is my day-to-day job. So it's a lonely drive up and down the highway by yourself, but you know, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. And everyone asks why do you do it, but I mean, you know, you're at the best club in Australia, I think, and you know, to have Eddie Maguire in there, you know, cutting tape off the boys, and you got Pendles sitting on the bench. It's, you know, I don't think you get that at any other VFL aligned club. So yeah, it's one of the best clubs that I've been at.
Now we've also got the comeback kings this week that we just touched on a little bit before, and Matty Scharenberg and Ben Kennedy. Great to have those blokes playing after missing for well, obviously Scharenberg's first game of the year, but Ben Kennedy missing for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and great to have those boys back and performed really well. As Peb said before, Keno just played 3 quarters of footy. Matty Scharenberg just played the first 3 quarters of footy and was pretty good. Played off half back, had about 14-15 possessions, used the ball well, as that's his go-to. Ben Kennedy, classy little player. Been pretty filthy. He hasn't been able to play the last few weeks, but great to be out there and managed to rack up 24 possessions in 3 quarters of footy, Pebs.
Yeah, both players had a huge impact on the game. You know, Shaz coming back from his knee, a well-documented knee, he performed really well for 3 quarters, holding up that back line with Marsh and Pendlebury. Keno, who come on at quarter time, provided a real spark inside with his hardness and his ability to win the football in one-on-one situations, and he kicked a really crucial goal in the last quarter from a stoppage. He just went hell for leather at the football at a ground ball, and he got in the back pay to him. So it was a really crucial bit of play.
Probably expect those 2 blokes to play a full game this week.
We'd hope so. I reckon Keno will definitely, but we're probably still on limited game time with Scharenberg due to the fact that he's been away for so long.
Keno ran the game out really strong, didn't he? His last quarter was massive.
Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yes, Kennedy was really good. You know, having missed that first quarter allows him to play out those 3 quarters, but he was huge in that last quarter.
Collingwood media caught up with the returning Magpie, Matthew Scharenberg, after the match.
It's just great to be back out there playing footy. So yeah, obviously the first port of call for me was just to get through unscathed, and I thought I did that relatively. I'm sure I'll recover during the week and I should be right, and hopefully be back out there next week. The back 6 just held up really well. I think we were really good at helping each other out, and yeah, I think that was a major contribution to the end result. Yeah, well, I guess Footscray being the reigning premiers in the VFL, we sort of, I guess we all knew that they were going to, bring a strong performance, and yeah, they certainly did that. They came home pretty hard. We obviously got out the blocks really well, which was good, and a good side's always come home really well, and they certainly did that today. Just to get match fitness over the next period of time would be good, and then hopefully later in the year, if I can put my hand up, that'd be great.
Well, boys, as we wrap up the game from last week, let's have a quick look at the ladder. And Caff, it makes for an interesting game this week against Geelong.
Yeah, huge game as you can see there. The Cats are 4th on the ladder and haven't lost the game yet, and we're sitting 14th. So, obviously after that game against Footscray, a quality win for the boys, and you'd assume they would have taken a lot of confidence out of that. So, interesting game this week up at Bendigo, so neutral territory for both sides. Saturday night game as well. So. It'd be great if we get as many supporters as we can up there to support the boys in what should be another huge game. And if you're going up there, make sure you rug up, because Tiffin will be pretty cold.
It will be cold again. Last week's game was hopefully a stepping stone for our year. We played a really intense, hard fought-out game, and the Cats are a really good quality side. So we're looking at a huge performance from our guys on Saturday night.
And of course, if you're not going, Collingwood Media is going to be all over it once again. We'll have the live chat going and the 60-second recap online post-match. And of course, boys, we are the People Show, and we love to see what's going on in the World Wide Web. Caff, what have we got from the social outer this week?
Yeah, mate. Well, last week obviously we had Dave the Man from Big Footy, and there was a fair bit of talk and feedback from that.
Resounding response.
Yeah, absolutely. So this week we've jumped on a Nick's bulletin board this week. We've got a response from the Defender, who's a little bit jealous, I think, of all the attention that Dave the Man's got. So there's his response. So, mate, we've given you a bit of a plug, so it's up to you now how you want to respond and whether you want to live up to that.
I don't think I've ever had a steak in the nude, mate, but...
Well, it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Post, that one. Oh well. Well, boys, that's a wrap for this week. Thanks everyone for joining us. Hopefully we're coming to you next week after another win against Geelong. That was another episode of From Lulie Street. See you next week.